We found out this week that Frank Gore is going to retire. Um, Frank Gore is like the reason, like Frank Gore's football to me. When I think about, starting to watch football and everything, that's when I got into football, started really watching football. Um, this my Frank Gore jersey, first jersey I ever bought, like so crazy, like how it was made back then, like but yeah, so he's gonna sign a one day with the 49ers and retire a 49er, which I think is awesome. There's been a lot of talk this week about him going into the Hall of Fame and whether he should be in the Hall of Fame, about his jersey being retired. I know you touched on this already, Grant, but just to get your guys' feelings on that. I know Vish put out there that he didn't think he should be put into the Hall of Fame, and everybody wanted to cancel him over his opinion, which is pretty crazy.
Call the police right now.
I know, like, man, people were going nuts, like making up other tweets that saying he tweeted all this other shit. Like, it was crazy. So congrats to Frank, the GOAT. What do you guys think about the Hall of Fame status? Me personally, I think he will get in. I don't know about first ballot, but I could care less. First ballot, second ballot, 10th ballot, you're getting into the Hall of Fame. And I'm with the people that say, we can't retire every jersey because, what jerseys are we going to have for the players to wear at the end of the day? But I do think, with the impact that Frank meant to this team and, his closeness still with the team, I do think that his jersey ends up getting retired. Do you guys' thoughts?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. So first and foremost, I'll say this. If Curtis Martin is a Hall of Famer, then so is Frank Gore. That's all I'm saying. I feel like as a career, Frank Gore has accomplished more than Curtis Martin has. So, and I get people saying that, there was never one time where he's considered the best back and this and that. But, you can't knock his numbers. He's third all time in rushing yards. You can't take that away from him. No, and the longevity he has is just amazing. Like for a man who tore both ACLs, and I ain't gonna lie, back what was he? He drafted 2005, right? When he came in, when he was drafted, I was disappointed we drafted him. Honestly, I was just like, this man torn 2 ACLs, and I always said, if I were to meet Frank Gore, I would shake that man's hand and apologize to him for doubting him. Yeah. Because when we were drafting running backs, I wanted Marion Barber, who got drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. I thought he was great in Minnesota. So as far as Frank Gore retiring his number, it's tough, but I do agree that I think he's a staple. He's been a model citizen. I feel like a lot of people growing up, around that era where he came in, modeled their game after Frank Gore. He was one of the 49er favorites, so I do agree that his jersey should be retired. And I agree, you can't retire everybody's jersey, but number 21 to me is a special number that it should be retired. So, yeah, I'm glad that he's going to sign a one-day retire, and I hope he makes it to this front office one day for sure.
I think they essentially already have retired his jersey. No one's worn it since he's been gone, and I think they gave it to someone by accident. I forget who it was.
Michael James, wasn't it?
No.
No. He was 23. He was 23.
He was 21 at
Oregon. I think you're right.
They gave it to someone else when Kyle Shanahan was here. And the guy took a picture of it. Like, hey, I'm here. And I don't know who it was, but Niner fans flipped out. Like, 21? No. And they made him change his jersey that day. So, look, I think they should retire his jersey. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame. Third most rushing yards of all time. That's all you got to say. But I think there's a reason that Niner fans love him so much and that people don't really, maybe people like Vish wouldn't understand, or people who aren't from here or didn't grow up around it. But Gore is different than other football players. Gore is a straight up throwback to the 1950s. He played for the love of the game more than anyone. He never, ever talked about money. He never complained about anything. He never held out. He would have played for the 49ers forever. He never wanted to leave the team. He'd be playing for him right now if they let him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For Patrick Willis, and he was a lifelong 49. Patrick Willis was too, but Patrick Willis retired. I think there's just the warrior mentality of Gore that he would probably play the game until he was 50 years old is so endearing. And it's just rare. And there aren't players like that anymore. And I think that's why Niner fans love him as much as they love Jerry Rice. Don't they?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
They do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. There is something special about Frank Gore it doesn't matter that he was never the best running back in the league. Doesn't matter. He was so loyal to the 49ers, more than anyone since Jerry Rice, you could say. All about the team, after the Terrell Owens years. And Terrell Owens was a great player, but he kind of changed the culture of the team for a minute. It was about T.O. For Frank Gore, it was all about, like, he had a faithful relationship to the team like it was, again, 1965, I thought, which is crazy.
Yeah, and even, all this time that he's been playing for other teams and stuff, like, he'd always still show his love, to the 49ers, to the faithful. It's always been about the 49ers with him, regardless what jersey he had on,